about a week from MLB the Show 23, which means we've got a lot of big changes in Diamond Dynasty. Today, I want to go through and cover all the different avenues of content that we know of right now and kind of touch upon how content seemingly will work in Diamond Dynasty, because right now it seems like there are going to be hundreds of cards to get on day one, and it might be a little bit overwhelming. First big change is our sets in seasons. Every season is going to be releasing different sets of cards. So season 1 will have set 1. Season 2 will have set 2. For about 6 to 8 weeks, you'll get cards of different sets. Only cards of that set and the set before will be usable. So in Season 1, you could use set 1 cards. Season 2, you could use set 1 and 2. Season 3, you could use set 3 and 2, and then 1 phases out. So throughout the year, old content will get automatically phased out of lineups. Reason it's a big deal is now this changes from the normal progression, where at the start of the game, you get like 90 overall players, and gradually throughout the year, the teams get better and better and better with each content drop. It changes that up. You don't have that problem of, hey, I got a 90 overall, I like this card a lot. Then a 92 came out, I like that card more, I'm gonna instantly replace that player. Takes that problem out of the ballpark. On the other hand, you have the problem of having a 99s available like live series cards and feeling the need to use them for so long where you'll never replace them with other cards for so long. So a lot of content becomes worthless. I think this is them supposed to be battling that problem, which is a common problem in all of these card collecting team building modes. I'm personally excited to see how it goes. We kind of gotta wait to see the game drop and see how all of this goes. But this is all a big deal because this changes basically the core foundation of Diamond Dynasty and how you will be building your team throughout the year. And only certain cards will be usable all year, like your live series cards, live series collections, and some of the other content that we're going to talk about today. Speaking of those live series cards, we will have live series cards on launch. You know, in your standard packs, you'll be chasing that Mike Trout or Shohei Ohtani, or Aaron Judge, whoever you really are looking for. And these cards aren't going to be purposeless. They actually might be more valuable now than ever, since they are core cards that are available to be used all year. I think the vibe is going to be that if you're someone who plans on taking a lot of breaks or playing pretty casually, you may want to go the live series player route, because if you do plan on taking breaks for a long period of time, you could always use your live series cards. Also, if you're going the theme team route, try to get like an all-time Yankee team or stuff going, this is definitely the play, because you will be able to use captains and such to raise the overall of those live series players. Now they have more of a place on your team. And of course, the collections and stuff are always going to be good and have their place in the team. We'll see exactly how that goes since it's different this year, but it seems like some of these captains are going to be the awards. You see Carlos Pena and Jake Peavy here are both the live series captains. I'm very sure these are going to be the team's live series collections. It's logical because if I get all the Yankees, then I could get a Yankees team captain that boosts the captain himself by using those Yankee cards, but also boosts those Yankee cards. I think it's smart, and I think it's a really creative way to reward those people who like going for all Yankees, all Rays, all Padres. Also, if you just want to change up your team all the time, you could literally do whatever you want and kind of be kept up with the rest of the crowd. Next, we have our Negro Leagues storylines. You've heard about it if you've been keeping up with any sort of news with the game. This is going to be a great mode to hear some of the stories and kind of recreate some of the life of the Negro Leagues, which I think I'm very excited for as just an MLB the Show fan. Learn some of the history of the Negro Leagues and the great stories by Bob Kendrick here, and you'll be able to get player content out of this. These cards are going to be in the core set, meaning you could use them all year. So some of the players like Satchel Paige, Martin DeHico, Jackie Robinson, John Donaldson are very good players, at least in the stories of the Negro Leagues. I don't know what type of cards you'll get in Diamond Dynasty, but I would assume you get at least a card for each set of stuff that you complete. I would really recommend playing this mode for the mode itself, but also you're not going to be wasting your time. You'll get Diamond Dynasty content to use. Next, we have the World Baseball Classic content. It was confirmed that this will be a program available on day one. So you'll have at least 100 plus players who played in the WBC. Will all of them get cards? Not really sure. But they did say 100 plus players in their little article they wrote on theshow.com. And there's a shot we get 100 plus cards out of this program. Guys like Paul Goldschmidt, Freddie Freeman, also some guys who play for the other teams. Like Roki Sasaki is a stud for Team Japan. You got some other guys on Team Korea, Team Australia, who played well in the WBC, who will also have cards and moments and stuff. This will be a great thing to start off with to start building up your team. Also, you do get a choice pack to choose a player in pre-orders. So I assume everyone will have at least one of these players to start And these could be great team building cards since there are so many. And there's some really big names that they've already confirmed. Yu Darvish, Sandy Alcantara, Adam Wainwright, Ron Acuna, Yusuke Masago, Kyle Tucker, Luis Robert. They say here there are 100 plus. So we'll see exactly what happens. But holy, if they release that many cards, that's a crazy precedent to set for this entire year. Talk about another thing people are excited about, Team Affinity. It is back. If you played MLB the Show 21, you know what Team Affinity is, but if you did miss out on it, Team Affinity is basically like those featured programs you had last year. Every team gets one player of a similar theme, and you would grind out that program and earn all of them, but Team Affinity allowed you to get all of those cards for free. The cards were earnable all year. They weren't time limited like featured programs were, and there were a lot of cards to earn. They kind of set the power threshold throughout the year, where they started off at 90 overall, then you have a jump up to like 95 to 97 and so on. Team Affinity gives you a lot of free to earn content by just playing the game, maybe using players on a team, completing moments and stuff. It is a great part of the game and another avenue to grind your team. First, Team Affinity is going to be captains. They've confirmed this. Miguel Cabrera is one of them. There'll also be guys like Aaron Judge and Byron Buxton who are team captains. So you use their live series cards or it's any card in that team with them. They and those other cards will all get boosted. So again, this will be a great avenue for your theme teams. Or you could just grind out all these players and build a team with all these 92 overalls. So getting a hold of these captains is always valuable, especially if you're someone who likes your all-time teams. Also, you get things like stubs and packs out of Team Affinity if it's like how it used to be. So I can only picture this being a great thing for the game. Ranked seasons, BR, events, your online modes. Big thing this year is ranked co-op being added. And it's a little bit bigger implications than you may assume. Now, ranked co-op allows you to get potentially 3 World Series packs. You could get World Series in solo, get World Series in co-op, get the World Series pack by grinding out the innings, if it's like last year, in either co-op and solo. They're combined together. And now you can get more packs, which means cards could potentially be more acquirable since more people are getting the World Series packs. I think it's great for the game that way. They've already alluded to these cards being some of the 99 overalls you see day one. And it makes sense. If you're running like 92, 93 overall players from the Team Affinity, then a 99 overall you would get from making World Series could actually be a card you can use on your team. I'm excited for this, and this is where that sets format really comes into play. Now that you have really juiced cards as rewards, they could actually have a place in your collection and on your teams. And this will be the same for like BR and events. The awards could be very juicy for playing online, and actually be good additions for your team near the start. Then of course we have mini seasons and all of these other offline modes like the USA Conquest map, other programs like we had last year like the City Connect programs. We already got confirmation an 86 Derek Jeter will be earnable on day 1 for free. You'll be able to just get them right away. Great way to start building your team the right way. But of course, you'll be able to get other awards for just playing offline in these modes. They're never really the best awards. I think they'll be the same as usual. We'll see exactly how it goes in the new sets format, but I can see the content like the USA Conquest map and mini season award and stuff being a little bit more fleshed out this year since there's so many different things to do. And there's probably more that I missed. But if there's one point about Diamond Dynasty that I have learned through summarizing this, there can be a lot of cards and a lot of different ways to grind those cards. It might be a little bit overwhelming to start. We're going to be trying to find out and discover what avenues are the best, just in general, the most efficient at getting your team up to a God Squad. And it's tough to see how long these cards will be used. It's going to be very confusing to try to build a God Squad, I think, to start. So make sure you sub to the channel here. I'll be posting tips and card reviews and all the different things that help you build your best team in Diamond Dynasty. That'll be going down here, by the way, and not on my scan channel, which I had been doing it on before. That channel is now going to be my gameplay channel. You should sub to that because the gameplays are bangers. But if you do want to see all the tips, we'll make sure to do that all throughout the year. Try to find out how this stuff will work when DD drops. If you want to see some more, feel free to check out this video I made the other week going through the gameplay changes. These are also big for Diamond Dynasty, especially when you're trying to play competitive online.